I think all artists remain very open-minded.
Alison Jardine, a British-born artist now living in Plano, uses a brush and paint to create images filled with light. Typically, the surface is canvas, but now she can also paint on her iPad.
Makes it feel like you're painting with light. And all my work's about light.
Alison, already versatile in her work, taught herself how to create iPad art with a single project. She drew something on her iPad for 30 minutes every day for a year.
I wanted this to be fun, short, a sort of daily brain download of how I was feeling, a visual diary. Some of them were funny, or at least I thought they were. There's one particular image that was such a dreadful day. It was related to a gallery, and it's an image, and there's this big black boot coming down on some little tiny people, and that's me under that boot, you know.
She drew everything from shells to shoes, impressionistic to realistic.
I really wanted to see my progress and compare the first and the 365th.
The students tend to really flock to this.
Steven Steinbach has already been teaching students how to sharpen their skills in this new medium at the Art Institute of Dallas.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was very creative. I mean, every single piece looked completely different and unexpected. And some of the pieces were like very hyper-realistic, and then some of them were very abstract and very emotional and very vivid in color. So I was very impressed.
But is this the future of art?
This is the future, yeah. 10 years ago, we were thinking maybe digital art, digital photography would be the future. We weren't really sure, and now it's just the standard. And I think it would be the same with digital painting.
He believes the time is coming when his classes will be filled with students who've never even picked up a paintbrush, charcoal, or colored pencil. Gone, too, will be the art supplies, the cost, the mess.
Would you go so far as to say this is better?
I would say it's more versatile. But yes, for me, yes, I'm biased.
While his students have their eyes on a future in graphics and gaming, Alison has kept hers on fine arts.
What type of artist are you?
I am me.
But unlike her paintings that must be viewed in person to appreciate their color, iPad art is what it is.
They'll see exactly what I created. I don't think there's been an art medium like that before.
Though still in its early stages, it can be said that iPad art is a reflection of who we are on the current spectrum of technology. In Plano, Carol Cavazos, CBS 11 News.
Alison's iPad art is being featured as part of the cultural experience at the London 2012 Olympics.
So Siri is the popular new feature on the new iPhone 4S. Celebrities are touting their digital assistant in commercials. You've probably seen those, but not everyone is a Siri fan. In fact, Siri is facing a lawsuit claiming she's not as advertised. CBS 11's Carol Cavazos tonight looks into these claims and sits down with Siri.
We have a flat tire.
How do I tie a bow tie again?
What's the fastest way to Hartford Hospital?
Judging by the commercials for Siri, Apple's iPhone speech interpretation and recognition interface.
Linguiça.
I found 5 restaurants whose reviews mention Linguiça fairly close to you.
Siri is meant to be taken, well, seriously.
How many ounces in a cup?
Should she?
Joke.
2 iPhones walk into a bar.
Frank Fazio didn't find Siri funny at all.
Where are we?
Or even helpful for that matter. He filed a federal class action lawsuit against Apple, saying Siri commercials are fundamentally and designedly false and misleading.
Add migraine headache to my list of band names.
Apple filed a motion to dismiss, but we wanted to know if the lawsuit against this voice-activated software had any legs.
One of the major problems is that there isn't a whole lot of detail.
The lawsuit claims Fazio asked Siri for directions to a certain place or to locate a store. Siri either did not understand what he was asking or, after a very long wait time, responded with the wrong answer.
It's hard to know, based upon the complaint, what Siri actually said. Was she close? Did she understand his speech? What was really the problem?
Megan Ryan, an SMU law professor, doesn't have an iPhone. So we introduced her to iPhone's digital assistant.
What is the class action?
I found this meeting.
It found a meeting.
maybe someone more familiar with Siri would do better.
You've known Siri for how long?
About a year and a half.
So you understand each other?
To some extent. I'd like to say we're friends.
Kayla Sinkuli likes Siri.
Anytime you need a hands-free device, Siri's kind of there for you.
Kyle Segara, not so much.
It's not like it's advertised to be, so.
He parted ways with Siri after just 1 week.
Zero personal connection there.
She told some jokes.
Not funny jokes.
Maybe she's better at locations.
Siri, am I close to a restaurant called Ravenna?
I'm checking your current location. I found 8 restaurants matching red.
Red Hot and Blue? Anybody want to go to Red Hot and Blue? It's only 7 miles away.
We sat down with Siri for a serious talk.
Hello, Siri.
Hello.
Who are you?
I am Siri.
Who's your daddy?
You are. Can we get back to work now?
Tell me about the Siri lawsuit.
Searching the web for the Siri lawsuit.
Are you being sued?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't answer that.
When it comes to Siri, maybe you just never know what you're going to get.
I love you, Siri.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
In Dallas, Carol Cavazos, CBS 11 News.
Oh, wow. Siri, what'd you think of that story?
It's nice of you to ask, but it doesn't really matter what I think.
There you have it. In its motion to dismiss, Apple said its website identifies Siri as beta technology, a work in progress. The company also questioned why no one who complained about Siri took advantage of the company's 30-day return policy.
Call it fate, chance, or even divine appointment. A Plano woman came across the name of a man with whom she had a deep connection 40 years ago, but until recently had never met. It all comes back to this, a POW bracelet she wore as a child. Here's CBS 11's Carol Cavazos.
When Jerry Singleton bought a Jeep, he didn't know it would take him back in time to the years he was a Vietnamese prisoner of war. And that his new Jeep would become the vehicle that would bring him to Karen Judd, who had never met him but felt connected to him by the POW bracelet she had worn with his name on it when she was in junior high school.
I mean, I bathed in it, I slept in it, it was always on.
His name showed up in a file one ordinary day in June at the Huffines car dealership where she works.
What a coincidence. I just couldn't believe it.
She checked the age.
To be about the right age with the same name, and then to see the POW plate, I just said, it's him. It's got to be him.
It was him. She met him the very next day.
I didn't hardly sleep the night before because I was excited about it, a little nervous. How are you? To actually get to physically meet a person that you had prayed for so hard.
You never thought you would get to meet him?
No, I didn't. I mean, what are the chances?
Jerry lived in Colorado when he joined the Air Force. Karen, just 14 at the time, lived in Dallas.
Okay.
Jerry eventually moved to Burleson. They finally met in Plano 40 years later.
I was delighted to be able to meet her personally, just to say thank you.
More than 1,000 others have returned their bracelets directly to his address.
What do you think every time you receive one?
I get tears in my eyes. I get a lump in my throat. And I thank the Lord again. Dear Captain Singleton.
Some have attached a sentimental note.
At long last, your bracelet will be where it belongs. I have kept it far too long.
Jerry Singleton was a 25-year-old helicopter pilot on a rescue mission just south of Hanoi when the enemy took down his helicopter.
We took the round right up through the bottom. It caught fire instantly so that all through the cargo area, there was just massive flame.
Jerry had only been in Vietnam a month. He would spend more than 7 years in Vietnamese captivity at the infamous Hoa Lo prison, the one POWs called the Hanoi Hilton.
As one of the guys said, when you went there, you could just hear the screams of past years of torture.
Jerry says the torture eased once the Vietnamese found out about the bracelets and the growing American POW support.
God answered their prayers on my behalf.
It was just like my way of saying, okay, I can make a difference.
It can be said you may never see an answer to prayer in your lifetime. And then again, You just never know when it's going to show up.
Thank you so much for coming.
In Plano, Carol Cavazos, CBS 11 News.